Hi, you're listening to the My Reality Says podcast, brought to you by My Therapist Says. We're here to discuss everything pop culture, influencers, blind gossip, and of course, reality TV. We put the T in reality. Hi, welcome to the My Reality Says podcast, our first
in studio
episode.
We're so excited. Nicole's finally visiting me so we can record together.
I came all the way from Amsterdam to Miami for this episode, so it's gonna be a good one.
We have so much to talk about. Really excited to get into Love is Blind.
Yes.
That journey is finally ended.
Oh my God. That was a ride. Like, all of these people are like mildly insane.
Yes. I'm honestly on that Alexa energy.
Oh, yes. She's a queen. Brennan, oh my God.
He's so sweet.
The way he was like shutting people down at the reunion, like he was like
standing up for the woman,
everybody, like giving them handkerchiefs. I was like,
he's a gentleman.
King energy.
Yeah, he's really knows how to treat a woman, and I feel like he was like visibly upset by how mistreated the ladies were by the other guys.
Yeah,
which is like so cute,
so sweet. I love everything they have going on. But let's get into the weddings.
Yes.
So let's start with Bartiz and Nancy.
Okay, first of all, I 100% felt like he was gonna say no to her.
Yeah. Oh, no, I saw that coming a mile away. And I'm so glad he did, because
she wouldn't. And that would have been a mistake.
Yeah, that would have just been a disaster. What I was so shocked about is like her still like holding his hand afterwards, like pretending like nothing just happened. Like she was still so delusional about it.
She's so delusional. She's so obsessed with him. And he's like a horrible person. He was horrible to her.
I'm like, have a backbone. Like, what are you doing?
Stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Have some like dignity. Like, I don't get it. Her brother had all the right energy.
I know.
And like her mother, her whole family.
Her whole family was amazing. And then he has the audacity to start yelling at her family. And then she's not
defending him.
She's defending him and not her family. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? This guy just like made a fool out of you, basically.
Yeah.
And you're still sticking with him. Like, what is happening here?
He was never gonna say
same
yes.
Guy.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna discuss the little hairstyle he showed up with to the reunion.
Oh my God.
I had to pause and I had to be like, for real? Is this happening?
Like some weird genie hairstyle. Like, I cannot.
And this man thinks he's so attractive.
He's like maybe a 2. I don't know.
Like it would be a no for me. But like it's insane to me that his confidence, and yet he's able to like take away Nancy's confidence, and it's just very sad to me that she was giving him that like power.
Yeah. No, he's the worst, and I also feel like he didn't get enough slack at the reunion. Like, everybody was just talking about Cole, and
everybody
like,
jumped on the Cole train.
You need to like let's talk about Bartiz. Let's talk about how he's also an asshole.
He's a villain. He's actually way worse than Cole. Cole had some redeeming moments. Bartiz didn't at all, ever.
No, and especially after the episode, like you kind of had a little. After the reunion,
we'll discuss
the cutie gates. We're going to get into that whole situation. We have a lot of thoughts about that. But yeah, I'm just like so happy that Bartiz is not ruining Nancy's life. I hope she gets a backbone and some self-confidence. And
she was still crying and looking at him at the reunion.
Yeah.
Like, she was just like so visibly upset she couldn't even talk about it. Like, she was like breaking down, and I'm like, girl, you only crying this much if you care about someone, and that's the most heartbreaking part. I'm like, how can you care about this person? He's horrible.
He said that he's not attracted to you. Like, I don't know how you can still.
He called her ugly in 20 different ways.
Yeah.
Like, how much can you take?
She, I guess, likes being a punching bag for him. I don't know.
No, I wish she would get like a backbone and like a strong friend or someone who'd be like, girl, snap the fuck out of it.
But it's like, even her family's like,
they try.
Snap out. Like, what are you doing here? And she's like, but maybe Bartiz, like, she was calling him babe and holding his hand.
Yeah,
and I was like, no,
that's not it.
Don't touch that man.
He does not care about you at all. Let's be honest.
The worst. And then after that, we had Cole and Zanab's wedding.
Okay.
And
that
I
was
was
a shit show.
actually shocked by that. I didn't expect her, because it seemed like going into it, she was going to say yes.
She went to town on him. Like, she, like, ripped into him so hard. It came out of the blue. And you're just like, whoa, you were waiting. You were saving it all for the wedding to, like, do it like this. Like, it seemed so mean.
I feel like she should have said something.
I think she was planning it. And, like, it was, like, so weird when her friends started clapping. And somebody called it the ghetto clap. And I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, it was rude. He was in tears. Like,
yeah, no, I felt really bad for him. My favorite was the what's the name of that person? The preacher? The
pastor?
The pastor who's like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, like, it didn't make sense. Like, I feel like he would have said yes to her, which was, like, you know, not the right decision. I don't think they would have made it. Like, they're both so terribly mismatched that, like, they don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, they bring out the worst in each other.
They're so bad for each other. Like, she needs someone who's gonna reassure her,
type
because
A,
she's like so insecure. She needs, I think what I've gained from all of this is that she really needs, like, professional help. Like,
I would advise some therapy.
The way her insecurities manage to twist things that people
in her
say,
mind.
And, and then, like, her lack of remorse
like, she's still backing it up. Like, she's like, it's like we all watched the cut cutie scene together. We've all seen it. The whole world, the internet agrees that he didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't being, like, at all fat shaming or anything. He was literally just like, oh, like, why did you only eat a banana? I offered to share my Pokeball.
He offered a Pokeball.
Yeah.
He was
like, why didn't you eat anything? That was on her. That was her perception. That was her choices.
Yeah, no,
and she still didn't see it. She's like, I'm sorry you didn't feel my pain. I'm sorry you didn't feel like honestly,
you're allowed to be triggered by something, but you're not allowed to, like, take it out on somebody else.
I wish she would admit
like,
the issue.
If she said something to him in that moment and was like, hey, like, this bothered me. Like, maybe you're not meaning it this way, but I'm triggered because of, like, my body issues.
I think,
and then they could have, like, come to an understanding that maybe he didn't mean that, and he
just has a way with words that don't really, like, work for her.
Yeah.
Like, in the pods, she came across as so confident, so bubbly, so fun, and, like, you know, she's like catfished with her personality.
Yeah,
like, that was not, like, the same person.
180.
She's one of those girls, like, stereotypically guys always say, oh, this girl's so crazy, she switched up on me, she changed her personality completely.
Yeah.
She did, like, the whole how to lose a guy in 10 days in, like, 10 days actually. Like, it was insane.
So patronizing.
Yeah,
like,
she was naggy.
I get it. He was, like, really messy and whatever, but, like, there's a way to do it where you're
you can be playful,
like,
you can be nice, you can be encouraging. Like, with your partner, you should never be, like, a mom role. Yeah. You should, like, you know, kind of encourage him to be to fix things, like, in a positive way, like positive reinforcement. Even works for children and dogs and, like, everyone. Yeah. Like, you don't sit there and, like, make fun of him and do petty little passive-aggressive, insecure comments. Like, it just makes her seem like such an unlikable person. Like, who wants to be around that?
And then, like, it's not like she was, like, perfect. Like, she had her own messiness. She had so many issues.
I like that. Yeah, he's like, oh, you leave all the towels, like, in the bathtub. And she's like, yeah, but they're my towels. I'm like, what do you mean?
Like, that's still being a little messy.
Like,
last I checked. But
super messy. But she's like, if it's me, it's okay. If it's you, it's not okay. Like, also, it didn't make sense.
When he was trying to cook for her and she was, like, freaking out at him. It's like he's trying to do something cute. Like,
clearly he does not know what he's doing. Understandable. Who hasn't had a guy try to cook for them? Like, it never is, like, a gourmet meal. Like, you accept it.
Yeah.
You're like, thanks for the effort. Like,
or, like, you can, like, help him, but don't feel like insulting him while he's doing it. You know, you could be like, let's add, like, a little bit of this, like, and make it fun. But she's just like, you know, this is white.
Imagine
bland chicken,
every time,
like,
you tried to do something for someone, they would, like, talk down to you about it and, like, insult you and be so rude and condescending.
Yeah. And this is not to say that Cole
was
is
perfect.
a saint, like, because, you know, he said a lot of horrible things too.
Horrible
and
things.
That's why I think they're just, like, so horrible for each other. They're none of them are, like, meant for each other. There was no chemistry. No. They bring out
there was no attraction. There was no personality compatibility.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense. And I mean, I understand that she basically unraveled and probably lost her shit ever since he started the whole, oh, Colleen is a 10, you are 9, which is not going to make anyone feel good. Like, that's going to make everyone insecure. But she just, like, went, like, 0 to 100 so quickly.
Like, I don't know where that came
and
from.
And it clearly comes from some sort of deeper issue that she has had from before. Like, she can't just, like, turn like that overnight. So he clearly unlocked that, like, problem in her. And, like, with his comments, which were not cool, and nobody should ever make those kind of comments.
Yeah.
But I really don't think he was ever talking about her body like that.
I really feel for her, though, because, like, I feel she doesn't have, like, a support system. You know, she doesn't have her parents. And I feel like her insecurities spiral in the worst way because of that. Like, she doesn't have someone to talk things out sad, with, you know?
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's all sad energy. And she looked so beautiful at the reunion. And it's like she was still doubling down, and then Alexa was like blindly taking her side, and I'm like, did you all watch this scene? Because you didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
this was not it.
Alexa is saying that there's some stuff that we haven't seen,
but I thought you meant the cutie scene.
Yeah, well, Alexa went on her stories and she said there's some other stuff that like Zanab was like, continuously telling us while filming was going on. At this point,
I don't believe a word she says.
Yeah,
I feel like
she's lost her credibility.
Like her representation of what's happening, I think, is very different from what actually happens, because from her point of view, everything is so heated and so intense and so like negative.
Yeah,
like when he would be like, the sky is blue, and she'd be like, oh my god, he said I'm ugly in this light. Like
yeah, no, the way she turns things around, like
it's a little unhinged.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
some stories were created there, but I do hope she gets help. I don't think she's ready to date.
No, I feel like there's a reason why she's still single, maybe because she's a full package. She's beautiful. She's successful. I don't think like she should be single. If the girl in the pods would not be still single, is my issue. Like, is my point. Like the real Zanab, she is not.
She changed her whole personality and just like brought.
And now she's doubling down on it.
Yeah.
And like she's still sticking to it.
Her statement was so like passive aggressive.
It was just the same, as problematic as everything else she's ever said.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you feel this way about me. Like,
I'm just like, okay, like cry me a river. Like this is not like, get some help. Honestly, I can't even talk about her anymore. She makes me upset.
No, she makes me sad.
That was such a sad negative reaction to her.
Yeah. Like she could have had some ounce of accountability where she's like, okay, I see how this triggered me and like, I took it the wrong way. That's like, what she should have said.
I understand how it could have triggered someone with like an eating issue.
And because he did say some things prior that were like about her appearance. So yeah, it compounded. But she didn't even like apologize. In that specific scenario, he did nothing wrong.
And he was so like actually mature to apologize and like cry and be like, oh my God, I take ownership. Like, I'm so sorry. I did not know I was hurting you. Because he's like immature and stupid. And he's like, oh my God, I say stupid shit. I didn't realize it affects you.
Yeah. And the way she was making kind of like everyone team up on him was not cute.
It was not cute. And I think Bartiz deserved that like flack way more than Cole.
Yeah. I don't know why, like, nobody really discussed anything he said at the reunion.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't even, like, consider him, like, a cast member.
He was just, like, sitting there, and then...
That's because, you know why? Because Nancy didn't call him out either.
Yeah.
She was sitting there going in on Cole.
Into him,
yeah.
I think.
And she never, like, called him out. She never, like, said... She should have given that Zanab energy to him.
Well, the one time she was, like... getting mad at him was about like something that he did after the show, being like, "Oh, I saw in your story that you were with a girl, blonde girl on a boat."
Next day.
Like, but okay, to be fair, it's like he said that he wasn't into her. He's allowed to do whatever.
He's not cheating. He broke up with you.
Yeah, he's allowed to do whatever he wants.
He clearly had this girl lined up before.
Yeah. Yeah, so
like she was so upset about it as if like her husband cheated on her, and I'm like, girl, he like didn't want you.
Let's divert this energy to stuff he actually said to you on the show and like how horrible he was, because that needs to be addressed.
That was the worst things I've ever heard. Yeah. Like literally anyone say to anyone.
Yeah, and he just continuously did it. Like every day he would be like, "Yeah,
I'm not interested in her.
You're not the hot one here. Raven is." And
my favorite part is how he keeps calling himself the hottest person in the room.
Like
I'm like, have you owned a mirror?
have you seen his friends? That's why he probably thinks he's the hottest person in the room.
Like, let's be honest here. If we're going to talk about looks and then we're going to be bitchy about it, we're going to call it as it is. And he's not the best looking person in that room. He brought nothing to the table. He's not successful. He's not anything.
His age really showed. He's really so immature.
He's like an immature 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he brought nothing to the table. And yet he had the balls to treat Nancy like that. But you know what? You get treated the way you ask for. Like, the way you allow. And she allowed that kind of disrespect. She like basically encouraged it because she never called him out. She never gave him a hard time. She would just look at
him while he was like tearing her apart and then be like,
okay, I love you, babe.
Maybe things can work out between me and Bartiz.
We're so happy. Like, we really come a long way.
Yeah, I think we're making some progress. No, you're not. He's just
Did you have a lobotomy?
Tearing you down every single day. I don't understand.
It's like a next level delusion, honestly. It like upsets me. I wanted to give her a hug and slap her at the same time. Yeah. I'm like, snap out of it.
Like, even her family were like, girl,
so frustrating.
What are you doing? This guy's a punk.
She's super frustrating. And her and Zanab are frustrating in such different ways.
Yeah, because, like, Nancy, it's like you want her to, like, see the light about him. And
Zanab, you want her to see the light about herself.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, be real, girl.
Yeah.
Another red flag couple was definitely Colleen and Matt.
Oh my God, he just gives me all the worst energy. And at the reunion, I'm actually like scared for her. The way that she was asked, people were asking her questions, and she would look at him every time for an answer, and it would just be like
terrified.
It would just be like simple questions, like, "How are you guys doing right now?" She's like, and the way he was like sitting behind her,
he was like towering over her, like
it looked like he had like a gun to her back, basically, and she was just like had this like scared
like a hostage
energy. Yeah, she was like shifty eyes, like sad smile. Like,
I'm not an expert on domestic abuse of any kind,
but body language,
that was giving red flag. Like, everyone, even on Twitter, like, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was tweeting like, girl, blink twice if you need help.
Yeah,
like, she looked genuinely terrified the whole time. You don't look like a happy newlywed. You look like you're terrified for your life. Like, if you say one word, he's gonna like lose his shit.
And that's why I'm like thinking, do we think that plays into why they don't live together right now?
I mean,
because
I
like,
would want to
she's
live with
probably
witnesses.
Like scared that, you know, something's gonna escalate. He's gonna get mad one night because she's out with her friends.
Listen,
or something,
if this turns into a true crime podcast,
I need like Colleen's friends to do like wellness checks on her. Like,
I don't think she wants to be alone with him. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, he scares me.
Like, I mean, we're all like, it's obviously all conjecture. It's all like, you know, we're projecting like what we see. Like, there's no actual evidence for any of this.
Yeah, of course.
But it just looks strange. Like, they're acting weird.
Yeah.
If my friend was acting like that, I'd be like, are you okay?
And what scares me also, on top of like the body language and his actions, is how his friends and his family are all like, yeah, he's like gets really scary. He has a temper. And then even like the day of the wedding, his friend was like, I really don't think he's like ready to be married.
Yeah, like what does he do? Why do his friends and family think he's like a scary person?
These are the people that are supposed to be the most excited for you to get married, and
his mom looks scared of him.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary, all of it.
Honestly, I was kind of shook. I thought she was really gonna say no, because even like like a couple episodes before, when they had that like fight at the dinner table, and he's like, say it, and she was like,
clearly that didn't work out well for her.
She was like, no, like, I'm not into you right now. Like,
no, she was like, I don't think love is everything. Yeah, like, I love you, but this ain't it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like these girls are so good at deluding themselves to be like, oh my God, that's my soulmate.
They're gonna wake up one day and be like, fuck, what did I do?
I feel like a lot of we as women in general close our eyes to a lot of red flags. Like, it's like a common thing that women do. And I mean, like, all people, men too. It like really depends on like, if you're like really into someone, if you're really attracted to someone, or you have an idea in your head about someone, you really just like close your eyes to all these red flags.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she like completely disregarded everything and was like, hey guys, you know what? He's my future husband. He's my soulmate. He's my person.
She had blinders on, for sure.
And like, eventually I feel like people close to her will try to extricate her from that situation, because he just seems like a lot.
Yeah, no, he
like, it doesn't have to beat her to be scary.
Reactive, like every like little, and he like twists things too. Like, I don't know.
I wouldn't be able to like be around a person like that.
It's so funny because in the very beginning, I was like, oh my God, they have like
so cute.
such I was like, they're gonna be so perfect for each other.
I was
they're
so
both,
team
like,
Matt.
Yeah. I wish we could replay our first episode where we were like,
you know what? Everyone was telling me too. I was like, I love Matt, and people are like, what are you talking about? He's like red flags. I'm like, I don't understand. He's so sweet. He was just been hurt, like blah blah blah. And then all this shit comes out where he's like, I've never gone past second date, blah blah blah. I'm a player, and I'm like, he's like, I don't love anyone. I'm like, what is going on?
Or when he like flipped at her when she just said she was going out with her friends, like that's red
and
flag.
like he was supposed to meet her, and then he forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like when you're drunk and that angry, it's kind of weird.
That's
it's
a
dangerous.
recipe for disaster. Yeah.
So, well, I guess stay tuned and see what happens with that one. I don't feel like that's gonna
like
last.
looking on her social media, like, are there signs that she's okay? Like,
are you fine? And then, like, you know, he's like, she's the most hardworking person I know. Like, she has 3 jobs. And I'm like, why are you watching her have 3 jobs? What are your jobs?
Yeah.
Why aren't you helping her? She's your wife. Why does she need to work 3 jobs? And like, you live in Texas. You don't live in New York.
Yeah.
Like, what is this cost of living?
Where is this money going?
She lives with 3 roommates. What does she need all this money for?
I'm actually
so confused. Literally, everyone's like, they live in Texas. Like, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to work that hard.
I'm very confused by that.
Like, if my husband was watching me work that hard all day and was just like, okay, honey, like, go to work.
I'll make
you dinner.
My one job.
Yeah. I'd be like, okay, like, tell me to quit. I'm ready.
Let's talk about your 3 jobs.
Seriously. Like, I mean, that's like a me issue, but like, that wouldn't be okay for me.
No, I agree.
Like, I just feel like she
we're
quits
on
a lot.
the exact same page there.
Yeah, I mean, some listeners might disagree because, you know, feminism. But still, like, I don't feel like it's feminism to work 3 jobs while your husband is like, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. No, I just think like he should be bringing the same thing to the table. Like,
if not more.
Yeah.
Like, it's a partnership. Doesn't seem like it's a partnership at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Alexa
and Brennan, the cutest ever.
I love them. Okay. I did not see it going so well.
Yeah, I thought like they were gonna say yes to each other, but I thought that like during the reunion they'd come back and be like, you know, things aren't great or something like.
But they're really trying.
No, he's so cute.
They're
like,
super in love.
I'm obsessed with them.
I love them together. They're giving like the Lauren Cameron energy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love that. Like, he does everything for her. He's such a, like, you know, gentleman. And she's learning about herself as a woman.
Yeah, she's
and,
like
compromising.
opening up more because I feel like she was kind of like closed off a little bit, and he like brings out the best in her, and she's like ready for love. And
they're like a real partnership.
Yeah.
They seem to be actual best friends, and they like, you know, discuss everything, and like they're on the same wavelength, and it's just like they're both like really embracing each other. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I feel like Alexa's family was like surprised that she was like so in love with someone. Like her dad was like, "Really, you're gonna say yes?"
Because she's like, I guess never has been. She said, and then now, like, you know, he like kind of like broke down all her walls. Yeah. And like, it was really sweet, and like the way he's with her is just like super protective and cute. Sweet, and like I just love it. It just seems like he loves her for her.
Yeah, and like the glow up that he had, like the way she dressed him for the reunion, she did dress him nice. So nice.
He did look really good,
and like I don't know, they just look so good together.
It was so cute. She just changed her Instagram name to like Mrs. Alexa Lemieux.
Yeah,
it was cute.
Very cute. So one thing I didn't realize, which I found out when I saw the Zanab post, is that all of these weddings happen at the same time as like around the same time as the last season of Love is Blind. So all of these people have been married for so long now, and they haven't been able to like say anything. Oh so God. Like that's like what, like 2 years? I thought
it was when the other season was premiering, right? That's when it was. Or was it filming?
I think it was when they filmed like back to back. I think because of COVID or something.
That's crazy.
And yeah, and that's why Zanab said in her post, like, Deepti's wedding was like a week before mine. Yeah. How would I have known what happened during? Because people were saying that
she's trying to be the new Deepti.
Yeah, which I actually made that comment also. Yeah. But if they were like at the same time, she wouldn't have known.
It hasn't aired yet.
Yeah. So, but anyways, it's just crazy that they've been married for so long and they haven't like been able to like
post anything
or like
change your name. Like, it's just like crazy.
Tell a lot of people. Like, I wonder what the rules are. Like, are you allowed to tell like how many people are you allowed to tell, like, outside of
I
your,
think we
like,
need to interview someone from there and find out.
yeah.
Because I'm very curious what the rules are.
I, like, couldn't keep it a secret that long. I would be like, okay, I'm breaking this contract. Like,
Yeah. I
I'm
need to post a
posting
wedding
this
selfie.
Insta. Yeah.
It's true. I feel like, and then there's all these other couples that don't get aired. So
Yeah.
like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine doing this whole experiment and coming out of it like not being shown ever.
I would be so insulted. Like, my love story is too boring.
Not attractive enough for people.
Oh my god. But then, like, maybe relieved.
Honestly, they would be smart if they filmed everything, but then they kind of released them like later and like in between seasons, like as in like a bonus.
Like a bonus episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be so good.
Like, I'm glad they started doing the reunions.
Because it really does annoy me though. Like, you kind of get to know people at the beginning, and then you're like, wait, like
where are they?
excited to learn about this person's story, and then they just like cut off forever.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we don't care
it's
about
like
people.
either don't show them at all, almost, or like
Yeah, I mean, they don't show everyone. They really only show the couples that they're gonna focus on, and
No,
like a couple other people.
Yeah, they show some people like in the pods.
Yeah, and in the parties when they have like events or whatever, all these random people show up and they're like, oh, they're from the pods.
Yeah.
I'm like, we've never seen them.
I mean, we couldn't forget Andrew and his whole
my God.
like eye drops situation, but
It was a vibe. I mean, I feel like Nancy would have been better off with him for sure over this clown.
oh my god, when they were talking, I was like, wait, they could actually work.
No, I feel like she's just not attracted to him. She has like a very specific idea in her mind,
Yeah.
and Bartiz was it.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, she could do so much better. Who else are we forgetting? Oh, Raven and SK.
Oh my god, I'm so here for it that they're like,
I like that they're
actually
dating.
working at it.
It's so cute that she's actually going to visit him and like doing the whole long distance thing. And like, yeah, you know, dating for them is the right move. And like eventually they will probably get married if it works out. And her family will probably attend that wedding. It's not going to be on TV. And like, it's just going to be a better vibe all around.
They're the cutest. Like her like being integrated into his
Her
family.
glow up as a person has
my
been
God.
insane.
Yeah.
Like she went from being so unlikable and just like shallow, and people thought she was like just like this, like the looks and like whatever, like didn't care about anyone.
Yeah.
Now she's just so sweet, and she grew so much as a person.
Yeah. I read that I read an interview with her, and she was saying that, or was it with SK? One of them. They were saying that she got a really bad edit with SK in the pods when he asked her to marry her.
Mm-hmm.
She said yes right away, but they edited it in a way where there was like a huge pause.
Yeah,
in
that's what
between,
you know what she was gonna
and
say.
like they were just basically saying that like they got like a very weird edit where they like
They made her seem worse.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause,
more
like,
hesitant.
The whole like jumping jacks thing,
No.
I think they like saw
That
that,
was
the
funny.
editors, and they're like, let's run with this.
Yeah.
And make
Let's
her
make
seem
her this cold
like,
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, it's interesting to like
That makes
hear
sense.
how things are different for them.
So I was right last episode when I said I didn't see him get intimate, and we assumed they did.
Oh yeah, you
but
were.
they didn't.
I was shocked by that. I was like,
And
wait.
she's like, we didn't like hook up until after the wedding. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was shook by that. Cause like,
I can see maybe that was part of his like concern.
yeah,
That they never hooked up, that she wasn't into him. Maybe that's why he said no. He didn't feel like, reassured. Because he was like, there's a lot of issues that we need to work on. And like, if there isn't that physical intimacy, you don't necessarily feel loved.
yeah, and that was always like the main thing for them. So
Yeah.
if that wasn't addressed like before the wedding, like,
Because then he's like, is she in it for the right reasons? She's not trying to like, touch me. Like, she doesn't want to visit me. Like, does she even care about me?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
yeah, no, totally.
And I think she was just being like guarded and like unusual.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are really thirsty to get busy right away on this show.
All of them are like first night.
Yeah, they're like, let's go.
I mean, they're like talking to each other for a long time in the pod.
Oh, like,
so,
what, like a week?
Yeah.
They're like, you're talking to someone for a week, like for hours. And I was like, okay, that happens to all of us on like a dating app. Like, no one's jumping into bed.
You're talking to someone for like months.
Yeah, like, we're like, okay, maybe I like you.
Yeah. But I'm so happy for them. They look so cute together.
I hope they like stay together.
Yeah. And like all of their social media posts are so cute together.
I know.
Like I had a feeling because I saw her commenting on a few of his things, and I was like,
they were close.
Something is happening here.
I was dying when she's like, he showed me his DMs and girls sliding in, and I'm like, get out of my man's DMs, and I'm like, that makes sense. That'd be annoying because people think he's single.
100%. I mean, I bet she
had
like
so
a million guys in her DMs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they clearly have been dating for a long time. If that happened so long ago, so like this whole time he has to pretend he's single on Instagram.
Crazy. It's a long time.
Couldn't be me.
Oh God. And what else? Let's get into the reunion. I mean, we kind of discussed some of it, but
okay, the shade Nicolas Shade through Jess Simpson.
Oh my God.
I was like, that was unnecessary.
So much, like
yeah. I think all of his commentary is so backhanded. Always, he always finds a way to shade Jessica Simpson. So it's like very interesting to me.
And like knowing what we know, like how he treated her during like newlyweds and everything, I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah, I'm like, really, you're the one to talk?
Yeah, he seems like so petty about it, like because she's clearly the more famous, successful one, and he feels like he's always trying to prove something by like mentioning her.
Like, it makes him look so bad. Like, why are you always talking shit about your ex-wife?
Just like be happy that you're with Vanessa, and like you don't have to talk about Jessica.
Exactly. Like, it's not necessary. It's kind of weird. Like, have you moved on? Like, really?
And Vanessa was actually really funny. I feel like she's like living for the tea on this show. She was like, wait, what? Like,
he said what? When we were watching it?
Yeah.
I was like, girl, same.
She's like so into
I bet they're watching it and they're like, did that just happen? It's like they know these people, so it's funny.
Yeah. No, I do like Vanessa as a host, but not so much Nick. I wish Lauren and Cameron could be hosts. They would be so good. Or like,
I wish they would bring them back for stuff.
Yeah.
And like, they don't really use like the old couples as much like as they could.
Yeah, like even on
like the Bachelor franchise, that's such a good like job doing that.
Like they had Tayshia and what's her name?
Jessie, Rachel. Yeah, they have everyone. They always bring people back.
My mind's having a blank, but yeah, they always have everyone back.
Yeah, everyone just comes back, gives advice, and like pep talk. It like makes for good TV.
Yeah,
and like also these people live through it, so like I'm sure they have advice.
They have the best advice.
Yeah. So that was interesting. Like I'm kind of sad it's over because that's literally my favorite show.
Yeah,
it is so insane.
They need more like content from the show.
They do.
Like
It's
I need more seasons.
It's annoying that they keep releasing like an episode a week, and then like it's annoying that like they don't like it's not enough episodes.
Yeah,
they could show
like
more.
There needs to be more seasons for sure.
Yeah,
frequently.
And I like when they show like little reunions. Like they could like film like a little reunion from the past season,
or they can like take a hint from Bachelor in Paradise and do like Love Is Blind,
like all the couples together on vacation. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
see how they do. Yeah, I just feel like they haven't, like Netflix hasn't really like invested into exploring or the whole thing.
Bring all the single rejects from the pods into onto an island.
Because like they all watch each other. I'm sure they all have like opinions and crushes on different people from different seasons and stuff that they could like want to talk to.
100%.
So like, you know, you could all just talk now. So that was good.
We talked about the cuties thing.
I can't talk about Zay anymore. Yeah. She bothers me too much.
I think most people on the internet that I've seen are like on that
like
side of the fence.
Yeah, people all acknowledge that he was like a little piece of shit in the beginning.
We're not saying like we love
he's not
Cole.
ideal.
Like he's
but,
not
like,
a good guy, but
she's just toxic.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the way she handles issues is not it.
It's like it's one thing if she was gonna react but it's the lack of accountability. And then he was like, for me,
you never said a word. For weeks, you never said a word. You never complained. You never called me out. You just waited to bring it all up on the wedding day.
So like
it's so contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, really, if you were that hurt, you would bring it up in the moment.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't know if I was gonna say no. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah.
That did not seem like you didn't know. That's why she was freaking out down the aisle. She was like, oh my God, I'm like ready to break up with him.
She had that whole speech prepared just right there. Yeah,
she just seems very contrived. Like everything about her seems very fake, actually, as a person.
Yeah,
and I just feel like she was just like waiting for her big like set down moment. She thought it was gonna be such a moment, but like it really wasn't giving what she thought it was giving.
No,
So like people just like felt bad for Cole. He just started crying. He's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, no. He was like getting bullied by everybody there.
Yeah, and he honestly, I don't think he deserved that.
And he was showing remorse. Like
Yeah.
if someone
Like he doesn't know any better. Okay, like you're talking to him. I feel like he would have been a better person if she talked to him in the beginning and explained herself.
But she was so like immature and like.
And I don't think he's the kind of person who learns by like someone being passive aggressive and petty toward them.
No, he needs a girl who's gonna be like, okay,
positive.
This is how I feel.
Yeah. Like get to the point.
Yeah.
Stop like making me guess what you feel and just like, you know, like that's the kind of person he needs, like a straightforward person who's kind of like positive and encouraging.
Yeah. I don't think he's like has like horrible intentions that she thinks he has. I just think he's like immature and doesn't get it.
I think she's way more conniving than he is.
Yeah, I agree.
Or could ever be. So I just did not love that about her. I just like feel like she was giving like that whole like, I don't know, crazy girl like stereotype. She was leaning into it very hard.
Yeah.
And like there's no need for that.
Yeah.
So
not into her. I can't believe I was a fan of her in the beginning.
I know. I was so into her, but I feel like she fooled all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Love is Blind is done. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Wow, another chaotic episode in the books. I think I say this every episode, but
the singing, the like, dancing.
I can't.
What is
keep
happening?
Up with this? Like, I feel like I like just smoked weed after like watching. Yeah. I took psychedelics. Like, this is.
I feel like it was an acid trip. Like, what is happening? Like, why is there a choir? Why are people auditioning like it's American Idol, America's Got Talent?
One thing I was dying about was like all the friends of this episode.
They were all
like fighting with each other. Like it was like survival of the friends of like who can get a snowflake.
Who has more friends? Like what's happening?
Yeah.
So Angie, how do you feel about Angie Harrington?
Oh my God, she really bothers me. She's so thirsty.
So she claims she had no idea her husband was behind this and that it should not reflect on her at all. She had nothing to do with it. It's her husband.
100%. How do you not know what your husband is
doing? When your partner is doing something, it 100% has everything to do with you.
Especially when it's about your relationship with, and your friend. Your husband would be like...
He wasn't like bullying his own coworkers. Like he's bullying your friends.
He would be like, I'm getting revenge for you. Yeah. Like he would tell her.
Exactly. Like you can't pretend you're completely innocent and have nothing to do with it. First of all, that's no loyalty to your husband. No loyalty to your friends. No loyalty to anyone. She
just like let her husband go die. Like she was just like, you can...
She's like, okay, you can go now. Thanks. I don't know you. I'm here just saying.
My favorite though was Jen Shaw being like, her logic was like, oh yeah, if your husband does something, you're accountable for what he does. When you're in a relationship with someone, they're accountable too. You guys are in this together. And I was like, maybe you should rethink these words because you're basically saying
Coach Shaw is involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we obviously know that some things are like hidden from your significant other. Apparently the source of your income.
Yeah,
being one of them. How do we have this beautiful big house? I don't know.
How do I have like 1 million Chanel bags?
I'm just awesome at my job.
A lot of unanswered questions there.
Seriously. Like I see her point, but it was so hypocritical.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like she was just going off in her like beautiful pink suit and the necklace and she's just like,
it was such chaos. All of them yelling.
Extraness.
Oh, same. She's so funny, like the one-liners.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's just kind of weird to me that like this episode kind of made it seem like Heather had no loyalty to anyone. And she was just like kind of like, oh, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone's here for me. Cool.
No, Heather really is like rubbing me the wrong way lately.
She just like, it seems like she has no fucks to give.
Yeah.
She just like gives
the fact that she was like sitting on Angie Harrington's lap after like knowing this whole thing, and I'm just like, you're not gonna like take the other side here, like stand up for what's right. This is a man creating a Finsta account. Like how are you not seeing fault in this?
Why are you not calling her out? Why are you not asking questions? Like unless you knew about it, like what's happening?
Yeah, are you involved in this too?
Yeah. Like she just gives this whole like, I'm too tired and too busy to care about all of your problems. I'm just done with it. I'm expanding my business and I don't have time for this.
Okay, I have to ask. The Beauty Lab and Laser, like, new expansion, it looks huge.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, like, did the Jen Shaw Sprinter van thing, like, did that bring more business or something? Because
I mean, the show
looked like a whole shopping mall.
I just feel like the show brings so much business to them. I mean, I'm not sure how, because I wouldn't say that the women on the show, all of them have exceptional work done. Like, I want to know who goes to beauty bar.
But I feel like Jen Shaw says it's like her stop.
Yeah, that would be a no for me.
Yeah. I think so too.
I want to go where Meredith and Lisa go.
Yeah.
Or Whitney. I think Whitney goes too, actually.
Lisa definitely never went before.
No. Like, I mean, I love that her business is booming. You know, she deserves the success. Like, I love to see her, like, kill it. And the expansion obviously makes sense. Like, I mean, every time someone joins a housewife show, their business booms and they start expanding. So, like, that's awesome. Clearly, that's the part of the reason, main appeal why people go on the show.
Exactly.
If they have something to promote. So, like, I love that. And I just feel like she checked out of the drama. And then, like, it was kind of, like, crazy to me that, like, Whitney came to her house, was trying to talk to her and, like, explain herself and, like, be like, hey, like, you know, let's talk about this shit. And, like, Heather was just like, nope.
She was like, I'm not done. She threw off her mic pack and was like, I'm
she was done with it. Like, she was just, like, has, like, very short patience, I feel like, for all of it.
Yeah. I wish she just, like, stood up for her cousin a little bit more. Like, I know she's going through shit, but, like, she stands up for the wrong people at the wrong times. Like, she's ride or die for Jen Shaw usually,
but not now.
Yeah, but now she's with Angie Harrington. It's like she chooses the worst people to stand up for.
Also, her choices don't make any sense.
Yeah,
like the timing of her choices, like the timing of her loyalties, like none of it makes sense. Like, why this person and not that person? Why now? Why not yesterday? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't
She's
understand.
A conundrum.
Oh, Heather. We love her for her lines. Let's just say that.
She's funny.
Brings some, like, comedic genius to the show, but
she kind of reminds me of Marisol in that sense.
Yeah.
With the whole one-liners and, like, you know, blowies and cockies.
Yeah, but she's, like, checked out.
But she's just, like, checked out.
When drama involves her, she's, like... That's why she does so poorly at the reunions. Like, she's she always, like... If people are throwing shots at her, she can't handle it.
She can't handle it all. She can't, like, accept, like... the stuff she gives.
Exactly.
Like, it's kind of weird, actually. Now that you say it, I really notice it.
The reunions, she's horrible.
She always loses at the reunion. She always looks the most, like, unhinged and unstable because she just can't handle herself.
Yeah.
Like, she gets too emotional and too, like, heat up. It's just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel
not loving Heather this season.
No. Lisa Barlow saying, I'm very important to God.
Oh, my God. Is that not the most Lisa Barlow-ism ever?
Amazing. I want to put on a shirt.
Honestly, everything this woman says is, like,
should be on
merch worthy. Like, she should have her own merch line. Like,
she's so funny. She'd make a killing.
I'm obsessed with her. Like, if I could have her on my TV every day, I would be.
She's just so watchable.
Yeah.
It's like she's not even that likable. She's just watchable.
She's like a parody of, like, a Real Housewife. Because, like,
how is she real?
I feel like she doesn't understand how, like, crazy the things that she says are. She's, like, not in on the joke. You know what I mean?
I feel like, yeah, exactly. Like, I just feel like she's not, like, laughing at us. She's more like, why is everyone laughing? What did I say? And it's just so funny because I'm like, what world do you live in that you act like this and it's, like, normal? And, like, and just, like, she continues to act amazing.
She's hilarious.
Like, I can't even put a word to, like, how she acts and what it's like. Like, it's not crazy. It's just, like, I don't have the word for it.
Yeah.
Like, she leaves me speechless every time. I'm like, are you real?
She is TV gold.
She is. She's super, super entertaining. You know, Meredith was, like, very, like, whatever this episode. Like,
oh, my God. Okay, we need to talk about the bathtub scene.
Why is it always a bathtub?
I don't know why we were subjected to that. I am scarred. I'm gonna have to go to
Oh
therapy.
my God, the finger and butthole conversation.
Seth say that you're in my taint or whatever. I just like will never be able to unsee that.
Like, I don't need to see Seth in a bathtub.
Like Meredith's bathtub scenes when she was solo, that was iconic. I don't need to see you guys together talking about buttholes. Like, that's just not.
Like, it was just a lot. They're trying to have a serious conversation, and he's like, "Oh, your finger's up there." Like, what's happening?
It's way too much. Way too much for TV.
I don't know what her thing with bathtubs is.
Between that and Whitney and her like paint scene last season, it's like Salt Lake City is a little bit too much information for me.
What is her obsession with bathtubs? I don't get it.
She likes to disengage.
That makes sense. I guess she's just floating. She's like, I'm done. I do like that she did not put up her hand when Lisa Barlow asked who's not my friend.
I was like, finally, we're getting over this drama.
Yeah, because I fully expected her to. I was like, oh my God, Meredith's going to be like me.
Yeah. I'm a little bit bored of Lisa Barlow's like storyline, actually.
She doesn't have a storyline.
Even though she has like all of these amazing comments and she's so funny, I feel like her storyline this season is like really boring. Like she keeps just talking about how her family is all divorced and like woe is me, and it's like, am I really supposed to care about
you're
like,
not divorced. What are you upset about?
Siblings?
Like, you're crying about it as if like you're the one going through divorce. We don't know your siblings. You've never shown them. Why are we discussing their personal lives? Like, it's just like doesn't make any sense
for like multiple episodes.
Yeah. Like, okay, one comment is fine. Like, this is happening to my family. Cool. But then like she's like, why is every woman in our family divorced? And I'm like, you're not divorced. What's your issue? Are you planning on divorce? Like what's happening? Like,
it's very strange.
It's not like some weird family curse. Like, it's just stats.
And don't you have like 5 siblings or something?
Like, yeah, like a lot of siblings. And like, obviously some of you will get divorced. Like, that's normal.
I don't want to hear any more of that. I mean, it's just boring me to death.
Makes no sense. And then she was like going on and on about how like she needs to like get in touch with her faith, and I'm just like, really, more?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Like, I just don't get it. I feel like she needs a storyline. I feel like it kind of like, I think she's trying to like stay away from having a storyline because of the whole scandal last season and like the finale and everything that happened. So it was like a lot for her, and like people turned on her, like the public, her friends, everyone. So now she's like trying to be not problematic, but it's just like she's still involved in drama.
Oh, she manages to get herself involved in like but in
the weirdest way.
Thing. Yeah.
Just like strange, like super involved, but like no one's interested.
Yeah. I was dying when her and Lisa were talking, and Lisa and Whitney were talking, and they were both just like making everything about themselves. Like, they were like, but wait, no, my family has drama. Like, and then Lisa's like, no, but my family's all divorced. So it's just like, okay, okay. Like, can you listen to the other person? And
both have trauma.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, the whole park scene was so random. First of all, they were playing basketball with their sons. And I literally was like, I turned to my boyfriend and I was like, I cannot be a boy mom. This is not happening. I'm not doing this. I'm like, if that's what I'm expected to do, I'm not doing it.
Honestly, a lot of this episode, I wanted to
it was filler.
Fast forward.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot happening.
It was like weird stuff happening, but not interesting.
I wonder if he knows we own Vita Tequila.
Like
I don't think he cares.
No,
it's not. Nobody
like cares.
It's on Casamigos. Like, I don't know.
She's acting like she's Beyonce. Like, I wonder if they know
who we are. And I'm like, okay.
The way like she said her name, Lisa Barlow. Like,
two for Barlow. Have you ever tried Vita Tequila?
No, nor have I ever seen
it for sale
anywhere.
I don't know where I can get it. I'd love to try it.
Yeah,
like, Lisa, can you send us some?
Restaurant. Like,
I'd love to try it.
Is it only sold in Salt Lake City?
Only when she gives blowies for it? I don't know. Like, what's happening?
We need to go to a jazz game.
Seriously, I would love to try it. I'm so curious how it tastes because she keeps talking about it and she like makes it sound like it's like the best tequila in the world. Yeah. But I'm like, why is it not sold anywhere else?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Total Wines carry it?
Very confused.
Like, I'm just dying to try it. I feel like Heather and Whitney are at a point where they don't know why they're mad at each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're mad at each other at this point.
Honestly, like, I'm so tired of that whole drama. Like, Whitney, I think continuously wants to create more drama, and so does Heather. And they're just like,
I feel like they need this airtime, otherwise they will get like
bored.
they replaced because
Yeah.
like no one's bringing anything.
Yeah.
And it's just like the same stale drama that they go on and on about for 5 episodes. And it's like, 1 episode's enough. We're good. We saw this.
We don't need to rehash
nothing
it
new
every
happens.
single episode.
Exactly. No one's like bringing receipts. No one's like bringing any new info. It's just like very boring.
Yeah, I feel like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is like, it's more of an ensemble cast. There's not like an anchor on the cast. And sometimes I wish there was, because I feel like
what do you
all
mean?
these
Who's like an anchor?
Like
Kyle?
yeah.
Well, yeah, because she's the OG.
Yeah.
'Cause
or like you would say Lisa Vanderpump would have been one. Or
100%.
I don't know. I just feel like they all have little boring side stories that I wish there was like.
I feel like, yeah, none of them have enough going on.
Yeah.
For it to be truly dramatic. So all the little petty dramas that they're trying to make a big deal, it's not like really as entertaining as some other things.
Yeah.
I feel like they say like horrible things to each other randomly, but like none of it like really like, they don't focus on the right drama.
Yeah. It's all kind of just like light fluff with Salt Lake City, I feel like.
And they should just name it Escaping Mormonism, because that's the whole theme of the show.
Yeah.